Join me for this pretty large September garden harvest. Hello everyone and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. My name is Kim and I live in Southwest Ohio. I live in Zone 6B, which formerly prior to this year was 6A, and it's September 8th and I've been away for about a week and I haven't harvested anything in a week, and my family didn't harvest anything, so today we're going to do some harvesting. Now, fall is showing up a little early. Everything's starting to die back. These tomato plants have seen better days, especially when the temperatures are dropping down into the 40s at night like it did last night. But there's still tons and tons of ripe tomatoes on these vines, and we're going to harvest all of those today along with some other stuff. So it's the weekend after the holiday, and I was home for the holiday. I went out of town for just a couple of days, came back, and y'all, I just didn't feel like doing it. I didn't even go into my garden. And I usually walk into my garden at least 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 times a day. But I was tired. I was exhausted. I didn't come in the garden. I didn't water. I didn't do anything for a couple of days. And I'm trying to get back on track. And since I didn't do that, I have super, super ripe stuff that we need to take care of. The first thing that we're going to take care of, and I've already started, is going to be green beans. And I've already started it. I have green beans. I've already harvested from one area, 2 areas actually. And now I'm going to continue with the green beans. And then we're going to jump on all of this other stuff. So far, I've already harvested, I don't know, quite a few beans here. But I'm going to get the rest of them harvested. Y'all, I was just tired. Sometimes you're tired and you just need a break. And that's what I did over the last few days. But now I'm trying to get back on it, get things moving, take care of business like I'm supposed to be doing, taking care of business. I finally got everything watered back in. Oh my goodness, everything looked all droopy. It was begging for water. We haven't had much rain in the last couple of months. I mean, we had one weekend where we got about 20 minutes of rain, one day, 20 minutes, and we haven't had anything since. Every time they call for rain, you get 3 drops and it stops. So everything needed a really, really good watering. And my family did water for me the one day I was out of town. Well, like I was gone for what, 2 days, day and a half, something like that. And they did water for me, but after that, when I got home, they didn't water because I was home and I should have did it. I didn't do it. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. We didn't lose anything, not from the lack of watering for that 1 or 2 days. The temperatures have come back down again to a nice chilly temperature, but it's going right back up. We're going to be right back in the high 80s in a few days. The saying goes, if you don't like the weather in Ohio, give it 15 minutes. It'll change. And that's about right. I'm going to finish up with these green beans over here on all of these GreenStalk vertical planters. And then I'll bring you back before I go to the next area so you can just see how many beans I've picked. All right, this is what I have so far. There were a few yellow wax beans, not many, but this is what I have so far. And now I'm going to work on these pole green beans behind me just so I can keep the harvest going. And yes, I should have picked these days ago, but here we are. All right, I will finish picking these pole beans, which are Blue Lake pole beans, and I will show you the harvest. They are coming in really good now. since we got such a late start with them, I was really concerned, but y'all, they're coming in and they're coming in good. And y'all, we got to eat some of these last week. Oh my goodness. I didn't put enough back. I froze some so I can can them later. And then I put some back so I could cook for dinner. Y'all, we were fighting over those beans. They were so good. Just that rich green bean flavor is what I like to call it. But let me finish harvesting these and then I will show you the harvest. All right, here's what we got so far. This basket is starting to fill up and we're gonna move to the next area. All right, we are in the next area and these beans honestly don't look so great anymore, but we will see if there's anything in here. We will save the big wide flat beans for last. I tell you what, fall is kind of bittersweet. Like you've been pushing all summer long, trying to harvest as much as you can. You start getting tired, you start getting exhausted, right? You're just waiting for the end to come, but then when it comes, you're like, wow, I'm gonna miss the garden. And that's kind of where I am. I am gonna miss the garden. I feel like I didn't get to spend as much time in it this year as I usually do. And I tell you, this season has been really weird. I mean, as far as how the garden did, you know, I've never had a bad cucumber season. And for this year, for me to have such a bad cucumber season, it was just really strange. And then with all of my traveling, I didn't control the pests as well as I should have. I just let the pests have their way, and they had their way all right with my cucumbers. But now that it's cooled off, the pests are gone, but so are the cucumbers. Anywho, let me finish harvesting over here and I will share with you the harvest. Oh, I forgot, there are dragon tongues over here, so there are going to be some wide, flat beans over here as well. But I will show you the harvest as soon as I finish going through this area. I'll bring you right back. All right, not many in this area here. We're gonna move over to that last space, but y'all, this still is quite a few beans. This is a really nice amount of beans. Let's move to the last area and then we're gonna harvest something else. This will be the last area that I'll harvest. Ooh, there are a lot of beans over here. And a lot of, believe it or not, cucumber beetles. These have only been coming in over here on this side of this bed for a couple weeks. I'm actually happy now that my green beans came in much later than the rest of my beans, because if the green beans was coming in like this at the same time that my wax beans and my purple beans were coming in, I wouldn't have been able to keep up. So it might be a good thing that the rabbit ate all of my green beans initially because I wouldn't have been able to harvest everything that I had planted. So that's something I might do next year. I mean, not intentionally like let a rabbit come into my garden and take everything, but maybe I will start my pole beans later intentionally to kind of spread that harvest out a little bit for me. So in this bed, I have, you know, traditional skinnier green beans on this side, and then I have two plants on the back side that's a wide flat bean. It's an Italian bean. I think it's called Roma 2. And so I'm going to have a variety of things coming out of here today. But I will keep harvesting here and I will bring you back and show you just what all I was able to get out of this area here. All right, I think I picked them pretty clean. And that's a full basket of beans. I didn't have that many of the wide flat beans, so I think they're about done, the wide flat beans. But my regular standard green beans are coming in now. So a nice succession spread out planting of beans by accident this year. So let's move on to something else. And I think I want to do tomatoes next, because they're looking at me and I just see red everywhere and I know they're overripe. Some of them may even be rotting on the vine. So we'll do tomatoes next. I'm sure you can see I got tons of tomatoes everywhere. So I'm going to just put this great big old bowl down and I'm just going to start harvesting from around the garden. Wow, so ripe, just falling right off. So these are all paste tomatoes in this section here. I'm going to get little Miss Charlie to help me out here. So she's got a little basket and she's harvesting on the other side for me. These are all paste, not too many. Now I'm getting into some slicers and they're not pretty. I wouldn't call them first, I wouldn't call them seconds, I would call them nothing, but we're going to take them in and we're going to eat them anyway. Charlie's got a basket of tomatoes as well. So Charlie's going to put her tomatoes in. Be careful with them, honey. They're super ripe. Yeah. They're about to go bad. So we got to get them all picked. And we're going to have to process them quickly. All right. And then here's some more. These are slicers. Thank you. I can get it from here. Thank you so much for helping me. Thought I had all of these. I missed some. Here's some of my orange tomatoes here. I call them specialty tomatoes. I don't think I have any of my black tomatoes left. Oh, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. There's a few. Not many, but a few. Oh man, that one rotted on the vine. Ah, hate it when that happens. So that's orange jazz there. But these are black crim. All of these are black crim. And they don't look so happy. I have a pineapple tomato that rotted on the vine. A couple more black crim. I got some black beauties that rotted on the vine. Oh, I don't like being wasteful. Oh, I let some of my tomatoes rot on the vine. It's not like me. All right. Oops. I probably just smushed something. But most of these are orange jazz that I just brought. More paste tomatoes that I keep missing. And I found 2 more of my silver slicers, white cucumbers. And I just stuck myself, but these are probably the last 2 cucumbers in the garden. That is a perfect tomato right there. I think it's a steak sandwich, but it's absolutely gorgeous. That one's almost gorgeous. A few more. All right, this is what I have so far. And I still need to get the tomatoes off of the green stalks. So we'll do that next. Whew, that's heavy. The tomatoes on the green stalks still look very good. There's only one ripe on this one, but I got some more just over here to the side of me. Like even the cucumbers look good over here. It's a good thing. Maybe we'll get a few more. Maybe. You never know. So I still have a ton of black cherry tomatoes. And I got them growing in like 4 or 5 different places at this point. No, that's not right. I have them growing in 1, 2, 3, 4 places. And they're coming in nicely. Oh, I'm dropping my fruit. You don't want to drop the fruit. Ugh. So I am going to go harvest all of the cherry tomatoes. They're super ripe. I don't have to find something to put them in because I don't want them to get smushed by the bigger tomatoes. But we'll get those harvested and I'll bring you back. All right, I'm going to have to get down here with the fruit because it's too heavy for me to pick up. But these are all the cherry tomatoes right here in this bowl. And then all of the regular tomatoes are over here along with 2 cucumbers. Here's one. The other one's down there somewhere. There it is. And we're going to keep harvesting. We're going to keep it going. I will get everything today. I will. That's the plan anyway. I think sweet peppers are next. All right, sweet peppers are next. So let's see where we're going to start at back here. And there are a few. I recently did some canning and I used a lot of peppers. So I still had some in the freezer from last year, so I tried to use them first. And then I did have some fresh ones, yes, that I used as well, but my supply, what I call my winter supply, is dwindling. Boy, that's a big one. Look at that big old king of the north. That's big. That's a yellow monster. So bell peppers are coming in, which is great. I have a lot of orange peppers this year too. All right. Oops. All right, these are all of the peppers off of that back GreenStalk, and now we'll get the peppers off of this one. I will get all of these picked, and then I will bring you back because we still got a lot of other stuff to harvest, y'all. We are going to actually, what are we going to harvest that's new? Brussels sprouts. We will be harvesting Brussels sprouts for the first time today. I'm super excited about that. So let me finish up with these sweet peppers, and I will bring you back before we move on to the next item. Look at that. But I'll bring you back. All right, so I picked a few other things with the camera off. So I picked a handful of hot peppers. So there's serrano, serrano peppers, some jalapeno peppers, and I am purposely letting them turn red because they're going to be for hot sauce. I did pick one eggplant, and I have about 4 or 5 more over there. So hopefully they'll hang on and I can get another bunch of eggplants. I did harvest some raspberries, but we ate those, so I didn't get those on the camera. Sorry about that. We ate the raspberries. And I harvested my first watermelon. It's super tiny. It is a sugar baby, but it's ripe. It is ripe, so we will take it in the house and we'll give it a try. My one and only watermelon this year. All of the cantaloupes rotted out, and I have some little baby watermelon, but they're not going to make it. So that's what I got so far, and I'm going to take a break. We're going to come back, and then we're going to harvest some brassicas. Okay, we are over here with the Brussels sprouts. And y'all, I don't even know if you can see them or not, but there are a lot of them on here. I'm going to take some of these leaves off on this side just so you can see them. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see those Brussels sprouts? This is the first harvest ever of Brussels sprouts. The very first one ever. I've grown them. I've given them away as transplants. My family, my friends, they've all enjoyed them. They like showing me how they've gotten Brussels sprouts. And, and I haven't had any. I've just always planted them in the wrong area. And so this is the first year, oops. This is the first year that I actually planted them in the right spot. And so now I know, and I will always plant them in the same spot. You know what? I'm cutting these off. I don't have to cut them off. I can just break them. Look at that. See? That's how much I know since I ain't never been able to harvest any before. They pop right off. Look at that. Y'all, this corn behind me is blowing in the wind. It sounds like an animal is coming up behind me. Y'all, I can't, we can't have that. We can't have that. I got too many animals in the garden as it is now. So every time I hear something, I think it's an animal. I have seen where I've gone to like the farmer's market where they'll chop the whole thing off and sell this as one piece, where I'm just harvesting small heads off of it and I'm going to let it keep growing. That's the plan anyway. I can't go all the way up because they're not quite big enough up high, but I will get all of these down low. Yep, they got a little more time on them. The ones behind me are even smaller. So let's see if there are any purple ones. So the purple ones, I don't have many, but some of the heads, they look like, I think they can go a little longer. I thought they were opening up, and I didn't want that to happen. Those are not ready. It's just weird. Those feel funny. Now, I don't know much about Brussels sprouts, but some of these heads look like they're opening all the way up, like they're not even a head anymore. So I feel like I missed the peak on those. Like these right here, look, the head's opening up. So I think that means they're overripe, right? Does somebody know something about Brussels sprouts? Leave me a comment, because I don't know, but I think these are not gonna, I think they're done. They're opening up. Anyway, we picked a few. We picked a few for a small meal of Brussels sprouts. I'll still take it. First harvest ever. So we will move over to the broccoli, and I think that's it for today. Let's grab that broccoli. All right. As with everything else, some things have gone to seed because I didn't pick it. What's new? That's my luck. Actually, that one's not so bad. I can turn this into two plants. Into two heads. There we go. So some of it was getting ready to go to seed, but I'm getting to it just in time. And then I got some great big old heads here. And yes, I've been harvesting broccoli all year. For those who don't follow me, I never pull my broccoli out unless it's just completely dead. And I do have some that's completely dead that needs to be pulled out. But I just keep harvesting and harvesting and harvesting as long as it'll let me. Now, if you don't have a lot of space in your garden and you need to get your cool season crops out to make room for some of your warm season crops, I get it. I understand. But if you can keep it going long enough to get these side shoots, that's the way to go. Well, I'm going to keep harvesting the broccoli, and I will bring you back so you can see the harvest. So I'm going to have to do a little cleanup while I'm in here as well. But I will keep harvesting. I'll bring you back once I have all of the broccoli harvested. So yeah, I got some cleanup. I got some disease here. So I'll bring you back. Whew, y'all, I am tired. I'm tired. So what all did we get? What all did we get? I went ahead and harvested some cabbage. Ugh. Ooh, y'all, I thought that was a worm. This cabbage was getting ready to go in the trash. I got some little baby heads of purple cabbage. I think it's called red acre, but they're purple. So I have two little heads of that. And what else did I get? I got one big head. Actually, it was two. I waited too long. It split wide open and it had started rotting, so I had to throw the other one away. So I got one head of cabbage. I still have just under a dozen in the garden. I was picking broccoli, and so there's the broccoli. The okra got away from me, or should I say from Mom, but I have a couple pieces of okra. This is going to be too hard, but I'm taking it to her anyway to show her I grew it. It's her fault she didn't eat it. So we got some okra in addition to the other things that we've already talked about. Oh, yes, and then I went over to the neighbors to see what was going on over there, and I went ahead and picked a whole head of celery. I don't like celery. I got a lot of celery, but Mom does like to eat a little celery every now and then. So there's celery for Mom. We got our peppers, our beans, our hot peppers, our watermelon, cucumbers, eggplant. Y'all, I call this a good day in the garden. So as always, right to the side here, I'm putting all the weights of everything that I harvested today. Everything These tomatoes are pretty heavy, so I know that's going to be a nice weight. I'm not canning anymore right now. I already got a couple rounds of canning going. This is going in the freezer. Everything's going in the freezer at this point because I'm done canning for the moment. We'll can some more in a few weeks. But here's the total weights of everything today. So y'all, the harvest is still coming. We're in September and we are still harvesting tons of vegetables. I thought we were done because the garden was dying back, but the garden says, oh no, I'm not finished yet. So this is it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. I have lots and lots more to come this year. And when we get done out here, we will move inside to the indoor grow space. So I'll be here all year long, providing content about gardening and preserving. So until next time, and I hope there will be a next time that you join me, Kim, at Kim's Cozy Corner. Bye.